Hey, all you sports card lovers out there today, this is the Card Dude. That's right, the Card Dude is back from Got Game Sports Cards, only on eBay. Today, I'm going to answer a question from one of our TikTok fans out there today. They sent me a message, and the message is, which is the best grading company, PSA, BGS, or SGC? So, I'm going to tell you the differences, which one makes you more money at resale, and which is the best for new and vintage cards. And we're going to list the pros and cons for each. So we're going to start with PSA. As you can see on the screen, we have a Brock Bowers PSA 10, the highest grade from PSA. They're very well known for their red label. Okay, PSA stands for Professional Sports Authenticator. PSA is most recognized name in sports, the sports card world. They are number one in the whole world. They've been around since 1991, and their red label is iconic. The pros, PSA 10s, fetch the highest resale value most of the time, especially with modern cards, rookies, and high-end inserts. They're widely accepted in auctions and marketplaces like eBay, Golden, and PWCC. They have a simplified grading scale from 1 to 10, and the PSA 10 is the gold standard in many collectors' eyes. Okay, the cons. The turnaround time can be slow unless you pay for the premium service. That will speed it up, but that'll cost you more. And PSA is the most costly of the three. And PSA doesn't do subgrades like BGS. That does categories like corner, surface, edges, and centering. PSA is best for modern cards and anyone looking to maximize their resale value. Okay, next up is going to be the Beckett Grading Service. That's BGS. Beckett is especially popular with high-end modern cards and among hard card hobbyists. Their pros are, they're best known for subgrades. They'll actually put on the card the grade for centering, grade for edges, grade for corners, and grade for surface, and that'll show you how they come up with their final grade. It also adds value to the card during resale. A BGS 9.5 is considered gem mint, but if you land a Beckett 10, Beckett 10 is one of the best. 9 times out of 10, a Beckett 10 is more valuable than a PSA 10. But if you hit the mother load and you get the Beckett 10 black label, that means that each of the subgrades are graded a perfect 10. That's right, a perfect 10. A regular BGS 10 could have 3 10s and a 9 or 3 10s and a 9.5. But the black label is a perfect 10 across the board. That one you can just about ask whatever you want for, especially if it's a rare card of a very popular player. The cons are, the resale on a Beckett 9.5 is usually lower than a PSA 10, even though they're both gem mint. But PSA does not grade a 9.5. They go from a 9 to a 10. So a Beckett 9.5 is usually more valuable than a PSA 9. So that is actually a plus. The grading scale and subgrades can confuse newer collectors, but I'll tell you something. Once you become a regular collector, you're going to love those subgrades. They make the card more valuable. And their turnaround time sometimes can be slow, but they're cheaper than PSA. They're best known for the high-end modern graded cards and collectors who want subgrades for added transparency to see exactly how they got to their final grade. Now we're going to head over to 2. And you can see there's a big difference in SGC slab. Okay, the SGC slab, it's got a black insert. And SGC stands for Sports Guaranty Corporation. SGC's been around since the late 90s, but they've been gaining major ground lately on the other two companies, especially with vintage cards. The Pros, known for vintage grading. You'll see a lot of old Mickey Mantles and Hank Aaron's graded by SGC because they are known for their vintage grading. Okay. The turnaround times are usually faster than both PSA and BGS, and they're more affordable than both those companies. And they're gaining respect for modern cards also, even though their specialty is the vintage cards. And their grading is becoming very, very consistent. And their service is really good if you have any problems. The cons are, they're still number 3 on resale value. If you get a SGC 10 and a PSA 10, SGC is only worth about 67% of a PSA 10. So, that's one of their cons. And that's especially on ultra-modern cards. And they're still not widely accepted as PSA 10 in the top auction houses. But they are getting better. They're best for vintage cards pre-1980s and for budgets, conscious collectors, or fast flippers. Okay, we got a quick recap here. PSA is best for top resale, best for modern cards, but has no subgrades. BGS is great for subgrades and high-end modern cards, but lower resale, comparable to PSA, unless you hit a Beckett 10 or a Beckett 10 Black Label. Then you hit the mother load. SGC, they're best for vintage, fast service, and they're growing in popularity, but they do not bring the resale value of PSA and BGS. If you're looking to flip modern cards for maximum profit, PSA is the king. If you're a collector who values detail, BGS is great. If you love the classics and want value, SGC is the vintage champ. Okay. Which grading company do you trust most? Okay. Drop your go-to in the comments and follow more card tips, grading hacks, and market updates from Got Game Sports Cards, only on eBay. And check out our informative videos so that you can keep up to date with everything that's going on in the card business. This is the Card Dude saying have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.